Hi, this is the Chappiness guy. Welcome to today's episode of Vestibular Talks. We have a very special guest today. Her name is Rosa. She's a mother of two young, amazing children. She's also a vestibular warrior, and she's also a Spanish speaker. I speak Spanish with her quite often through Instagram. People might wonder why is that? Why is that cool? It's because not often you find people that just randomly you connect with that speak your same language. So it's an honor talking to her, and she's very nice and very kind person. She's here with us today to share her story and to let us know how she's been managing her vestibular disorder. All right, guys, remember to like, share, subscribe, and share with your friends. Find your happiness, guys. Okay, Rosa, we're live.
And I'm having issues already. How are you?
I'm good. How are you today?
Good, good.
Welcome to today's episode of Vestibular Talks. Really appreciated you taking the time to help us out.
Well, thank you for having me.
Okay, so you mind telling us a little bit about yourself, how this whole story began and what happened?
Yes. So, hi, I'm Rosa, and I'm a mom of two. I work for the school district, the children. I'm a school community worker. Um, so this all started, I want to say, about 3 years ago. And when it first happened, I just thought I was having a dizzy spell. It actually happened when I was dropping off my son to school. And it was his first day of preschool. And I was freaking out because he was crying and, all this ordeal. And I didn't know if it was like because of anxiety or what it was, but I just had like this massive, like, dizzy spell, and it kind of lasted like a minute, and I'm like, okay, like it's probably because I'm stressed out or whatever. I kind of
Yeah.
brushed it off. And then through the week, it just kept happening. And this was like very new to me because I've always been a very healthy person and never had to experience, these things. I just, thought maybe I was anemic or something. So I decided to make an appointment with my doctor.
Mhm.
And there, he like recommended me to do some blood work. I'm like, check everything because something's off. I'm not feeling good. And I've also noticed like that I was so tired, like very fatigued. I kept getting these constant headaches along with like the dizzy spells, and they wouldn't stop. And then after that, like my results came. He did a full blood panel and everything was good. There was
Yeah.
no anemia, there was no nothing. And so then he's like, are you still having these symptoms? And I'm like, yeah, like, and it's very bothersome. Like, I don't know, there's something wrong with me. Like,
Yeah.
I'm thinking that. And he's like, the next thing that we could do is go to ENT. So I went to ENT, and it just took a while, like maybe like a month, to even see anybody. And when I went there, the girl, the doctor, she was very rude. She was just like, you gotta, explain to me very well. Like, she just like wasn't very helpful, and it was just like a bad experience. But she basically told me that I had triple PD. So it's Benjamin plus, I can't even pronounce it, but
No,
basically.
but I know what you mean. Yeah, yeah.
And so she's like, there's no cure for that. You can do therapy and, these maneuvers, the Epley maneuver, and it should help, and, you'll be fine. And she basically just sent me on my way. But again, like doing the research and just knowing that when you have the triple PD, basically when they do the maneuvers, you're supposed to get dizzy, and I wasn't
Yeah.
getting dizzy, like with the
Yeah.
maneuvers. Like it wasn't
Same
triggering.
here.
Yeah, it wasn't triggering an attack. So I knew like I had been. It was like a wrong evaluation in my heart. Like I was
Diagnosis.
wrong. So I kept going to the doctor and pushing it. And then finally he sent me to a neurologist, and she was a little bit more helpful. Like I explained to her like everything that was going on, and she's like, I think you're having migraines, like vestibular migraines. Like it just sounds like vestibular migraines, and unfortunately, like there's no cure to it. Like, you can take some supplements and medication if you want to, which I have opted from, just because my body is just so sensitive to things, and I know in the future I'll probably need it, but for right now, I've just been trying to just be cautious of what I eat and a detoxifying. I've been reading a lot about like the medical medium protocol and been doing that and just finding things that help me, and basically keeping my stress levels very low, because I find that when I stress, it just
It
causes the burn.
spikes.
Yeah, like, I can't even get up. And it's hard because like people think that, nothing's wrong with you. They're like, okay, you look healthy, you're fine, and it's just that silent like illness,
It's
that
impossible. Yeah.
nobody can tell, but you know what you're going through.
Or you live through every day. Yeah. So very interesting that first of all, you're a mother of two young children, right? They're very
Yes.
young. So how's that? How do you maneuver being a mom to two young children, and also dealing with this at the same time and dealing with life? Like how do you manage your life around it?
Yeah, well, it's tough. Like I'm telling you, like every day, as you know, and everybody that goes through it, every day you're fighting this constant battle. But, just waking up every day with a positive attitude and not thinking about it and knowing, like you might experience these things, these feelings, these thoughts, these like symptoms, but not letting it affect you, like just keep going about your day, has really been like, the push, the extra push, like knowing that, these kids need food, these kids need to go out, and play. And like, I have to like suck it up and just get up and just do it, and I do take breaks though, like, whenever they nap or whenever they're watching TV, I get them some snacks and then I go lay down because maybe like I'm having an episode and I just need
Yeah.
to like take a little break. But for the most part, they just keep me going no matter how I'm feeling.
Yeah, it's true. And does the dizziness that you get, is it consistent, and then sometimes it kind of like spikes and goes down, or do you just get burst of vertigo dizziness and then you're okay for a little while and then it hits you again? How is it?
I would say like the middle one. So basically sometimes like I'm completely fine. I'll wake up and no vertigo, no dizzy spells, no nothing. And then all of a sudden, a couple days after, like I feel like almost like I'm drunk, like I've
Yeah,
been heavily intoxicated, and it's just like that type of vertigo, I think, to me is the worst, rather than like the dizzy spells and like the little bursts or like the very bad spells and then it goes
yeah,
away, because it makes me feel like something's off, and then it makes my
yeah,
anxiety worse, like, oh my gosh, like they're wrong, again, like maybe they didn't catch, because I've gotten MRIs, I've gotten CT scans, I've gotten tons of like stuff, and like, and if every time it happens and it lingers, for, I would say like more than a week, sometimes it's happened like, it lingered for like 2 weeks, that I feel like heavy brain fog and just super dizzy and stuff. And I'm like, there's something wrong. Like there,
yeah.
and then kind
You
of
can
like,
tell.
yeah, you're like, oh my gosh, like they missed something, and it just makes my anxiety worse, and it triggers it even worse. So I have to
Yeah,
like kind of catch myself. And
yeah.
like,
No, anxiety is a trigger for sure.
yeah.
Rosa, have you found support from your partner, your family, your friends, or they are kind of like, they are like, we don't know why you're going through, we don't know what the heck is happening to you, and they kind of like just really stay away from it. Like, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, my husband, he kind of stays away from it. He's like supportive in the sense, like, if you need to take a break, like only like what you're going through, but he doesn't really know, like, like what. He's like, you call your doctor, call your doctor. Like he just doesn't, you know. Um and my parents, my mom, like she's very supportive. Like whenever I'm going through stuff, like she'll like, okay, like I'll watch the kids, or like she tries to educate herself so she knows, a little
Okay.
bit more of like what I go through, because she's like, Mija, I see you and you look fine, like you're fine, but once she started doing a little bit more research, she noticed that, like a lot of these people, like, you look normal. It's not like
Yeah.
you're getting sick or anything. But yeah, it's hard. It's hard because they don't know, but they do their best.
They how to relate. Yeah, yeah. But hey, at least you find a little bit of support, right? That makes a big difference.
It does.
Um, Regarding the medication, so I am very much like you in the sense that I'm very sensitive to medication.
Hmm.
When they prescribed me amitriptyline, I refused to take it. I said no. I did my research on it. I no, no, no.
Yeah.
Even though it seems to work because a lot of people seem to get better on it. So I started taking flunarizine because it has less side effects. What what would be a type of medication that you feel more confident with taking? Like, would it be something that you do your research that it has low side effects, or something that is going to work quick, or something that is being like researched and is being tried on many people? What would be the one thing that convinces you to say, hey, okay, I'm going to give it a try?
I think something that would have less side effects, because the minute that I experience a side effect is the minute that I
Yeah.
stop taking that. Because I'm just like that too. It's like I already have enough symptoms. I don't need, any more.
Feel reward.
And that's just, how it is for me. I do a lot of like natural stuff though. Like I'm not gonna go into detail, but if anybody wants to do their own research, I've been doing biomagnetism by Dr. Goyce, and it's basically these magnets that you impact. You do like these therapies. I do them every night, and especially on the days that I have severe like vertigo, I'll lay down, and basically they're these little. I brought one just so that you could see them. They're like these little round magnets.
Okay.
So I use like the black one would be the positive side, and I use it on my right ear, and then the left ear I would use the red side. And what it does, it just kind of like impacts like your nervous system and
Yeah.
your ears, and it just like makes it balance. I do get relief from it, and like I
Okay.
said, I do it religiously, and like people can do their own research and see if it's something that, and it's natural, it can't harm you or anything. I do a lot of like little oils like in the back of my ears
Yeah.
too, that they sell on you know in the counter. Like I don't do anything crazy. Like I said, I've been reading about the medical medium, and I've been doing like his detox, and that seems to help too. But other than that, no medication still.
You're tough. You're tough.
I mean, I'm not opposed to it because I feel like eventually, like, I'm gonna need it, but I'm gonna try to ride this, as long as I can.
Yeah. Is there any history of anybody else in your family experiencing something similar, whether it is a really close relative or somebody farther down the line, or you're the first one?
No, actually, like my grandma, she had really, really, really bad vertigo to the point where like she couldn't travel.
Okay.
And then my mom said that she went through it for a while, but it wasn't as severe as mine. And to this day, like sometimes she'll get it, right? Like if she flies anywhere or if she goes, anywhere in the car for too long, she gets kind of dizzy and stuff, but not to the point, not to the extent that I am.
Yeah.
But uh, it's terrible. And I'm sure like you can agree. It's just like
I
so,
relate.
yeah, hard to deal with.
Yeah. Um, when I'm reading a book called Victory Over Vestibular Migraines. And I don't know if you noticed in the Instagram page that I've been posting little clips of the book, of the
Yeah.
pages. I read a chapter the other day that was pretty hard to swallow because it says you have to accept this as part of the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Um, what do you think about that? Like many people commented on the post and they're like, no, we're not gonna just take it. We're gonna keep being positive and have neuroplasticity and believe that you can get cured and that you can get better. And obviously, I'm optimistic too. I want to believe that yes, that will be normal again
Yeah.
at some point. But this doctor said, well, you can kind of control it, but never completely get rid of it. It's gonna still linger in the background. What do you think about that? How do you feel? That was really hard for me to accept. How about you?
There's days that I literally cry because I'm like, when am I going to get better? Like, is this going to be a forever thing? And I've come to realize that even if it is a forever thing, if it doesn't go away, it doesn't get better, at least like I'm alive and I'm able to enjoy some days, like, and I try my hardest to like just do everything that I want to do on the days that I feel really good, to really like live life to the fullest. And like I said, even like on the crappy days, like kind of take a break and like, go back and like, keep doing it, like not letting like this illness control my life. I am positive though, like, and I do try to think like you, like I hope, that, our science like has come a long way and there's a lot of research out there, and hopefully one day like we're able to like not have as many bad days. But not being pessimistic, I just feel like it's something that I have to get used to living with, and just being thankful for the things that I still have. And we're still able to walk, we're still able to enjoy food, we're still able to breathe, we're still able to do a lot of things, and just being optimistic in that sense.
You just mentioned food. So I follow this extreme diet that sometimes sucks because it's so limited and restricted. So I'm basically eating grass and water because everything else is out of the list. Um, and then like some people are like, oh, don't eat meat. Other people are like, oh, meat is fine.
Yeah.
I noticed that if I eat meat, I'm kind of okay. But if I eat leftover meat, it's a no-go. Like it's completely bad.
Yeah.
Have you noticed anything that you might eat that triggers you, or food doesn't really bother you?
No, food does trigger me, especially coffee. For me,
Okay.
coffee and like sugar and like anything that has like excessive sugar or caffeine, oh my gosh, like I'll be fine, and all of a sudden everything just starts like spinning. And I really shouldn't be drinking coffee because I have really bad anxiety, and like that's just like a no-go. But there's days that you just need it and you're like, like I'm just gonna have it, and I have it. I do eat pretty good for the most part. There's days, that I bake, like I crave things and I'll just make it. And it's just hard because I have to like cook separate things. Like my husband, he's like, no, I'm not eating that. Like I, want to eat this. And so like it's hard. But for the most part, like even like two out of like my 3 meals, are pretty healthy. And then like I'll like range on like one meal that like I'm just gonna eat what I want to eat. But yeah, I've noticed certain foods do definitely trigger.
My family hates it because I'm the one that cooks at home. So if I'm eating grass and water, they're eating grass and water, and they hate it.
Good for them. No, but mine, and especially with the little kids, they're so picky.
Oh, they're so picky.
I have to like make like 3 different meals, so sometimes it's just hard. I'm like, okay, I give up. I'll just eat what you guys are eating. Mac and cheese it is.
Yeah, no, awesome. Rosa, what would you like to say to the people that are going? So many people are just at the beginning of their journey. You've experienced already 3 years of living with this and dealing with this. Many people are also far along their journey in their 10-year mark, 20-year mark. But you and I, although we're in like the middle part of it, we're kind of hopeful and positive that things will get better and stuff. Other people seem to get stuck in the anxiety, the depression, and the darkness of this ruining their life. What would you like to say to those people?
Don't let it overcome you. Don't let it affect you, as much as like we know like it's hard to like deal with the symptoms and deal with everyday life. Try to ground yourself and think about like the positive things in your life, and the fact that you're still living, the fact that you're still like, even with me, like I love to paint, and there's days that I can't paint and it kills me, but I know like tomorrow is gonna be better, and I look forward to tomorrow, and then I just take a break for now, and then go back to like doing the things that you like. But don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on doing the things that you love, and just be positive. Like there's better days. It's not a forever thing, and try to live the days that are good to the fullest and to the max.
Yeah, awesome. No, thank you very much, and muchas gracias for taking the time to be with us and to chat with us, and continue feeling better and getting better and better every day.
You too.
And it's been a pleasure meeting you too. And
Yes.
you have a friend in me, and
Thank
I love chatting with you through Instagram. So
Me
thank
too. It just makes me feel like I'm not alone. I love watching your videos and like the community that you've built, and like thank you so much for everything that you do and for keeping up the research, and thank you.
you. Yeah, no, you're more than welcome. So awesome, and we'll chat soon again. Okay.
Okay, soon. Take care.
Okay. Bye.